I mean, I don't know if there's a defining point. You kind of use that as motivation throughout the whole summer. You know, you're angry, pissed off that you know your season was cut short and we didn't accomplish our goal. So you use that as motivation all summer to be as prepared as you can and ready for you know a good start to the season and carry that through. So you know they knocked us out in the first round and went on and finished the job, and that's what we're trying to do this year is just get the job done.
And you've been on so many teams that have finished that job. You know, what is the difference between, or that fine line between maybe, you know, what happened last year and, you know, winning those tough 7 game, 6-7 game series and, you know, fueling that momentum, I guess.
I mean, it's probably tough to pinpoint one thing. I mean, if you look at the series, you know, one game you lose because of special teams, the other game you lose with the lead late. You know, so there's, you know, like we talk about, is just playing winning hockey, trying to be as consistent as you can, and usually the most consistent team finds a way to finish it and get the job done and win. So that's what we'll try to do again, is just be a little more consistent, be a little sharper in situations, but there's no reason to not have a ton of confidence and a ton of belief in this group. Like I said, all you can control is having a good camp, having a good start to the season, and try to carry that momentum all the way through.
Now, if you look at this roster, it's pretty much the same as last year, a couple of minor changes here and there. You've been on teams that have had big changes and teams that have had subtle changes. What's the difference in, you know, having that familiarity right away as opposed to fresh blood and getting to know other guys?
No, I think it's huge. I mean, if you ask, I bet if you ask a guy like Moser, you know, he should be even more confident this year. Having been in a new team last year, new surroundings. You ask guys when they get traded at the deadline, it takes a little bit to get adjusted to a new team, new surroundings. The fact that we do have a lot of the same group coming back, you know, should allow us to just come to the rink and do our job and know what's expected of us. You know, almost the same coaching staff, a lot of the same players, same training staff. All those things play a factor into, you know, as a pro player coming to the rink, feeling confident, feeling like you're valued, feel like you're a part of a team, and you want to do your part to, you know, get the mission done. And I think that's kind of what our group is feeling and sensing now is you know, everybody kind of shows up, you know, late August, first part of September, and it's just kind of like we pick up where we left off, and you don't have to have those conversations as much about you know, getting to know a guy. Obviously, there's a handful of new guys, and we'll get up to speed with our group right away here. But just confidence-wise, I think having that familiarity is huge, and like I said, look to build off that here in camp and get rolling.
Ryan, besides the speed of the game, since you first came into the league, what's it like defending in today's NHL as compared to when you first came in? What's different? What stands out to you?
I mean, there's a few things that kind of come to mind. I think just the playmaking ability. You know, when you think that someone's not going to be able to make the pass to an open guy, they do. So it just makes a much more emphasis on, you know, what you're doing away from the puck. You know, where's your guy? You know, making sure you're between him and the net or him in the passing lane, and then you know, not taking for granted being just in a good spot. You have to be in a good position to then close on guys, because even when you feel like you're close and you're taking away angles, the skill now in today's game, you know, they're able to find a small sliver of an opening to make a pass or get something down to the net. So I think just that closing speed, you know, in the corners or on the rush, that emphasis that we always talk about, having a good gap. Like I said, just the playmaking ability in today's game. Guys are so smart now, and they have the ability to move pucks and get pucks to an area, get pucks to an open guy. So you know, even when you are you know, 20 feet, 30 feet away from the puck, covering your guy, you have to really be even that much more closer to him, that much more aware of your positioning, you know, in order to defend the way you want to.
Along the same lines, could you talk about the evolution of your game, having a ton of experience, knowledge now, as opposed to not having the 25-year-old body that you did?
Yeah, no, I mean, you definitely learn different things to keep trying to be effective. Just kind of my hockey sense. I think knowing where guys are at, knowing where that next play might come, trying to try to stay ahead of the next play is kind of my main emphasis. When I'm out there on the ice, and certainly still feel like I can skate and get up and down the ice and do what I need to do there. But like I said, the anticipation, the skill level, the playmaking that happens, you've got to be able to try to anticipate it, try to see it. Just like the opposition is. Before they get the puck, they know where they're going with it. If he's going to get this puck, where's his next opportunity? Where's the real threat? The next threat after that? Those kind of thought processes is always what I'm trying to do, and I feel like it's a good strength of mine is trying to have a little predictability of where the next play might be, and communicate with the guys on the ice, communicate with my partner. I've taken away the most dangerous area, the most dangerous guy, and like I said, feel as confident as ever going into a season this year, having a good summer and really kind of stacking these long summers, which I think is an unfortunate thing, but at my age too, my body appreciates it for sure. And like I said, coming into the season really with no issues is a great feeling for me at my age, and looking forward to having a great start and helping lead these guys.
Ryan, what do you think made you guys a top 5 defensive team and top 5-on-5 team last year in the regular season? Even if you couldn't quite replicate that throughout the series against.
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously, ton of skill on this team, ton of skating ability and speed, and we always emphasize that with our forwards and the 5-on-5 play. What's expected of us defensively, but we always talk about it, puck management. We want to make plays when they're there. I thought for the most part we did a pride and an honor it was to represent my country back in Sochi, and be a part of that group this summer, and have my name on some sort of a long list means a lot. And like I said, I'll just focus on playing my game here and see where it goes from there. But it was fun to get to know some of the young U.S. players that I've obviously played against the last few years, but not really gotten the sense to get to know them because we haven't had these international competitions as much, aside from the 4 nations last year. So it would be a huge honor, and like I said, it was another part of the motivation for this summer, training and getting prepared is these opportunities, they don't come along very often, whether it's playing in the NHL or maybe getting a chance to represent your country in the Olympic Games. So trying to do whatever I can to seize that opportunity.
Mac, Eric said about not having much turnover this year when it comes to, but we've seen after successful seasons there is a turnover. Is there a sense of urgency with the team knowing that things do change, after seasons, whether they're short or long? And Julian's done such a great job of keeping this group together, and but you do end up losing players. So do you have that kind of sense of urgency? Is that a talk amongst the group, like, got a bunch of good players here, let's strike while the iron's hot?
Absolutely. And like I said, you don't have those opportunities where there isn't a lot of change, and no doubt sometimes change is good and needed, and you get an unbelievable player in a trade or free agency, and that's awesome too. But to start the season like this with a group similar to last year, that belief from management not to want to shake things up and make a lot of changes. Now it's up to us as players and team and staff to get the job done and start off on the right foot here, and see where the team can go. And like I said, a ton of belief in this team, and through the coaches, training staff, medical guys, everybody is on board, doing whatever they can to help us as players. So that part is awesome, and makes coming to the rink that much more enjoyable, and that dream of wanting to win